Hi, I'm Duncan, and I'd like to welcome you to my latest YouTube channel, feature, blog, whatever you want to call it. A few months ago, I was very excited when I heard that there was a new Badfinger album called Head First that had been recorded 50 years ago, but was now getting a proper release. It had a release, I think, in the early part of the century, but a very, very poor quality version from a cassette. And now that the official recording tape, master tapes, have been found, the album was now gonna get a really proper release with a good mix and everything. So I was very excited about it, and well, I finally the album was a little bit delayed. Well, at least the CD version was, but hey, these things happen. There's no point getting disappointed about it. But I got the album. I got it on vinyl. I don't have a record player, but the lovely thing about the vinyl is that you get a really lovely. The photographs are much bigger, and you actually read the linear notes because my old eyes ain't what they used to be. You can read. It's easier to read the linear notes on the vinyl version because they're bigger. Anyhow, I've got the album. I wanted to give it, didn't want to rush. I wasn't going to review it, but I'm so impressed by the album. I've given it quite a long time, many plays. And it's a superb effort. It's a really, really lovely album. So I'm going to do a quick review of it. First of all, I'll show you the cover. It's a Head First, the album, and there's a lion. I don't know whether he's going to eat anything or just yawning. Could be either. But that's quite a lovely picture cover. I mean, it's very eye-catching. Then on the other side, I think that's is that the Abbey Road Recording Studios, or it can't be. No, it can't be. It's that's the back of the album. It was recorded at Abbey Road, by the way. And then you get this booklet, or you get the same thing in the. Again, you've got the lion on the front, linear notes, picture of the band members. We've got Peter Ham, Tom Evans, the new gentleman whose name Bob Jackson. That's it. Now Bob played a very large part in getting this album back into circulation. So I can't have trouble remembering his name. It's a bit naughty. And Mike Gibbons, a drummer. And then you've got just linear notes about the nice picture of I think the piano that Peter Ham used, I presume. It's quite nice. And then that's basically it. And then the repeat of the photographs you get in the inner sleeve of the slightly bigger, and of course they're bigger with the vinyl version. Of course, what had happened, the band had been told they had to come up with a new album, and they were fairly. They just finished and were currently promoting "Wish You Were Here," which was their second Warner Brothers album. Of course, what would happen is that that wouldn't remain in the shops for very long. So they were pretty. When they were told by their American manager that they were to make another album, they were not very happy, In fact, Joey Malone had left the band, and he was replaced by Bob Jackson. Um, they only had 20 days or so to record this album. So you'd think it was a very rushed affair and that it would sound rushed, but it doesn't. It sounds like, being the professional unit that Badfinger were, they just got on and did the job. And they gave, all four members of the band gave a fine account of themselves. The album starts off with Lay Me Down, a strong rocker from Peter Ham. The type of thing we've expected on a Badfinger album. They would open with a very strong song by Peter, and this is no exception. Very, very powerful song. Really good rocker. The second track is a Tom Evans composition, Hey Mr. Manager, where he basically just criticises the appalling management of the band, saying that I'm not going to be with you, we're not going to be with you for much longer. And it pulls a lot of punches. Quite a brave song to come up with, quite honestly. But the management deserved every criticism that was aimed at them. And Tom had been very, very subdued previously. He only had one track on the previous album, Wish You Were Here, although it's a superb track. So here he has about 2 or 3 on this album. It's nice to see that he was sort of developing again. We then have the song Bob from Bob Jackson, Turn Around. It's an excellent rocker, and yes, we do miss Joey. There's no denying that, Joey Malone. But Bob gets into the role of the replacement with a great deal of gallantry and superb musicianship, so that it makes it sound like he's been in the band for the last 3 or 4 years. It sounds like he's not a newcomer at all. He fits, slides into the shoes very, very easily. We then got Back Again by Mike Gibbons. A very nice, quite quiet, almost ballad, sort of with a country and western sort of flavour. Mike has proved that he was a good songwriter. He was the drummer is not expected to do anything more in a band than just drum well. But Mike had written one of his finest songs he's written was one called You're So Fine, which is from the Wish You Were Here album. Again, very country and western type. This song is a little slower tempo, but it's very nice, and it's lovely to see him making contributions. He'll make another contribution just a little bit later. We then got Rock and Roll Contract from Tom Evans. Again, it's a high tempo rocker, a bit reminding me a little bit of Rock of Ages from the Magic Christian album, but not only in the sense that it's got Tommy going at full throttle with his vocals, and because he tended to be a bit more mellow, but here he is throwing just all caution to the wind, and it's a strong rocker, the one that Badfinger fans just love so much. Then we have the next track is Keep Believing, which is quite a slow song. It's Peter Ham, full of optimism about. I think it sounds like a relationship in trouble, but saying to the girl that whatever happens, whether we make it or not, you just be yourself and don't be anything else. He was a very, very unselfish man, Peter Ham. Seems to care so much about other people and not so much about himself. If I read the history of what I've read about Badfinger, that's the sort of feeling I got from the song. We've then got Moonshine, which is written by Tommy, Bob, and Mike. And again, it's a nice song with a sort of bluesy sort of like just a nice soft rock song. We've then got to the 8th track. We've got Rocking Machine, which is another song by Mike Gibbons. This is very lightweight, not a throwaway, but just lightweight and fun. They've done some good stuff, and this is a good song in its own right. It's just busky, not too serious, showing that they could, even though under pressure, they could have fun. We've then got just trying to work. I've slightly lost my way here. Oh goodness gracious me, what have I done here? Past first. That's Tom Evans and Bob Jackson writing together. And it's just a sort of nice rocky sort of again what I would call soft rock. So we've had but very, very, very nicely executed. So it looked like Tom and Bob tended to this is the second major effort on the album they've written together. So clearly they got on well. It's a nice song. Just goes up tempo a bit. And then we've got Savile Row, the last track, which was never really done at the time. It was a little bit of piano from Peter Ham that stayed on the master, and they hadn't really got time to develop. Their 20 days was up. They hadn't got time to develop the song into anything really, so it just left it as this rather nice piece of piano. And what Bob Jackson and other engineers have done is they've taken little bits, vocal and stuff from other tracks on the album, and put it in with a bit of synthesizer, a bit of vocal backing, to make it into a quite nice piece of it's a nice piece of piano, but they made it into a sort of end swan song for the album. They said they hoped, I think Bob Jackson said he hoped it had been done tastefully. Certainly what has been done tastefully. It reminded me a little bit of the end on Abbey Road. They're sort of heading into the sunset. Of course, there were going to be a couple more Badfinger albums with a very different. With Tommy and Joey would come back to make 2 more albums. This is the only album that was made with this lineup, so I'm really glad that it's seen the light of day. It's a piece of pop history. If you are a Badfinger fan, you won't be disappointed. And if you're not a Badfinger fan, well, it wouldn't hurt to have this as an introduction to their uh, to the band. Uh, as I say, um, it's a very moving piece. And although they were rushed off their feet to make this album, the album does not come across, as I said before, as being rushed. It comes across as an album they enjoyed making, and um, they that really shows what a professional group they really were. The fact that they, under this difficult time, they can make music this good. You could say that about a lot of parts of their career. Um, they I really do think it's time for a cinema movie about this remarkable bunch of people. And basically, I can't say more than that. But it's a lovely album. I'm proud to have it in my collection. If you want to press the like button on this, that would be great. If you'd like to subscribe to this video channel, that would be lovely as well. If you'd like to send this to somebody, to a friend, introduce them to Badfinger, that would be great as well. Anyhow, it's called Head First, with a lion's mouth at the front. I think you can get it from the for people in the UK, you can get it from the UK Badfinger website. As I say, do take a look, a listen to it. It's worth it. Okay, bye bye.